righty, good morning. Welcome back to Truth and Transparency. Today is Thursday all day. Idaho4 video Dylan's interview with Detective Mowery on 11/13/2022 with the MPD. This interview is approximately 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Yeah, you heard that right. 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Again, Dylan will be walking into the interview room and followed by Detective Mowery. Let's take a listen first, and then I'll break it down.
So I think that somebody might have said something that you said. I think what maybe you was. Did you have, or in the recent history, have anybody that you thought might have been stalking you, or that was just acting weird?
No, but talking. Remember about a month ago, I think one of the police officers that Kayla was outside taking Murphy out, and she saw a shadow.
Yep. Okay.
And then when Kitty was at Winco, Xander was in the car. She noticed this guy was following her. She got what she's getting, put it in the car, and she could see in her mirror that the guy was behind her in the car.
Okay.
So obviously he was trying to follow her. And then that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then about a week ago, our door is broken, but me, Maddie, and Ben came home, the door is wide open. And obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else as well.
With the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find the back slider open or anything? Is that usually locked? What's the condition?
I mean, we're pretty good at locking it. I don't think we locked it last night.
And it sounds like the code is fairly well known to the front door by people.
I mean, only people that know us, random people would not know, but
okay. Right.
Yeah.
Because he knew it.
Yeah, he does.
Obviously knew it because it sounded like she was going to move in with you guys, possibly. Doesn't sound like he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did Kaylee ever say anything or report that weirdness to anybody else other than you guys?
No, because you can't. There's no proof,
Right.
I can't really do anything about it, and people are just weird sometimes. We didn't obviously we were scared for a little bit. We didn't think much about it after that because there's nothing weird after that.
Did she see what kind of car it was that he was driving? Something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Where did Kaylee work?
She worked at home for a business, I believe. I can't remember what exactly it is.
So she was she works from her apartment? From her room? Okay. What about Maddie and Zana? Where did they work?
Maddie and Zana both worked at Mad Greek, and then Maddie also had a paid internship through this business as well. That was online at home.
Who would know what that business is? How would I be able to figure that out?
You might know.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. There's because they were business majors, and through their majors, they were able to get these jobs.
Okay. Okay. I just something about Kaylee talking about something like that.
Yeah.
And then I heard that it was possibly you. So I just wanted to make sure that I got the right person having those kind of things. Did you hear Murphy barking or doing anything?
Yes, he was barking a lot.
Throughout the night, or?
When I heard Kaylee go upstairs, he was barking a lot, and then I could tell that he was outside. I don't know how the police found him because he wasn't in the house.
Okay.
But he has a puppy who barks, but he was barking a lot if there was someone there.
And that was at 1:32, or was that around 4?
When everything happened.
And when he was barking, when you first heard him on barking after she was up there playing, did you hear him go outside, or did he start outside?
Murphy was with Kaylee when they were dancing. They walked upstairs. He was still with her. And then when she would yell, someone's here, he started barking in the house. And then I believe the slider door was open, and I think he went out that way because I could tell like the sound of his barking was getting like more distant.
Do you think that Murphy would have went after him, whoever he was?
Maybe, but I mean, he's a puppy. He doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
When the guy in black left, did he close the slider or did he leave it open?
I don't know. I just ran downstairs.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, anything else?
Not that I
Popped
can
up?
think of. No.
All right, I'm gonna go talk to my guys who've done the other interviews
Okay.
and see if anybody's got questions, so we can kind of start putting more pieces together.
Are you fucking serious? What? Okay. That's it. Now, from the beginning here. This is already running. The video audio is already running. So since the video audio is already running, Dylan does have the same, like that, those green pants on. She has the black shirt on that she had on, and then she just has like, a pullover zip over.
So I think that somebody might have said something that you said. I think what maybe you was.
Now check this out.
Did you have, or in the recent history, have anybody that you thought might have been stalking you, or that was just acting weird?
No, but I mean, talking. Remember about a month ago?
Okay. He has a stack of papers right there to the left. He being Mowery. So I feel like he is calling her back into the interview room, and that she had already been interviewed. Okay. The reason I say this is, first of all, I cannot believe he does not have a pad. He has loose leaf paper, like fucking horrible. But
One of the police officers
looking back,
that Kayla was outside taking Murphy out, and she saw a shadow.
Yep. Okay.
And then when Kitty was at Winco, Xander was in the car. She noticed this guy was following her. She got what she.
so there is no, hi, my name is Detective Mowery. Hi, my name is Detective Mowery. Okay. Okay, so I kind of just want to start from the beginning with your, I know that you've talked to an officer at the scene. They kind of filled me in on a little bit, but if he's getting names wrong, and so I kind of just want to start at the beginning. Whatever this shit is, this is absolute shit. But hey, this is what they do. Don't you want to understand the situation? If I don't know anybody and I have just a bunch of random people, who is who, right? Who is who?
She's getting put in the car, and she could see in her mirror that the guy was behind her in the car.
Okay.
So obviously he was trying to follow her.
So obviously he was trying to follow her. What? Well, my question would be were you there? And my understanding is no, you weren't at Winco.
And then that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then about a week ago, our door is broken, but me, Maddie, and Bo came home and the door is wide open. And obviously, yes, the door is broken, but that could also be something else as well.
The door is broken, and then I would be saying, yeah, we actually had one of the dads fixed it. It was falling off the hinges, but yeah, the door was broken, but it was just wide open about a week ago. The front door was just wide open. So she does mention that she doesn't mention that one of the dads fixed the door. Okay. Which I think is kind of really important. Okay. To tell the police that the door was falling off the hinges, but hey, Xana's dad, he went and got parts, whatever, and he made it so it wasn't going to be like that.
With the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find the back slider open or anything? Is that usually locked? What's the condition
I
of
mean,
it?
we're pretty good at locking it.
Okay.
I don't think we locked it last night.
I don't think we locked it last night. Well, how do you know if it was or wasn't? This is how I'd be answering that. Normally, the last person that comes in, we have a rule. Whenever anybody comes home at our house in Cincinnati, even if it was just like in the middle of the day, doesn't matter when, like, you come home, you lock the door. Okay. We just didn't leave the door open during the day. And then, okay, at nighttime, we lock it. No. You turn your key to get in, you turn around, you lock the door.
And who,
So what is the condition normally like in the back? Like, is it locked? What's up? How does this work? Well, we're normally pretty good about locking the door, but I don't think it was locked last night. Right there. Why do you think that? Were you the last one in? How do you know that? Why do you think that?
it sounds like the code's fairly well known to the front door for by.
Now, how does he know that? How the code's really well known to the front door? Well, that's because he would have talked to people. And if you go back and you listen to see who Detective Mowery talked to like this in like whimsical ways, he just, ooh, yeah. And that came about when he talked to like Josie's on a vacation far away. And like I think her boyfriend or something like that. But so yeah, what's up with this code?
People.
I mean, only people that like know us. Like random people would not know. But,
Okay.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
People would not like know the code, just like people that like know us.
Because he knew it.
yes.
Obviously, it looks to sound like she was going to move in with you guys,
Yeah.
possibly.
Wait.
It looks to sound like she was going to move in with you guys.
Yeah. Know us. Like random people would not know. But,
Okay.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
Because he knew it.
Sure.
yes.
Obviously, it looks to sound like she was going to move in with you guys,
Yeah.
possibly. Doesn't sound like he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did Kaylee ever say anything or report?
Okay, what he's doing is he's going back and he's looking at his notes from the people that he interviewed before. That's what he's doing with those sheets.
That weirdness to anybody else other than you guys?
No, because I mean, like, can't. There's like no proof, you know. I
Right.
can't really do anything about it, and people are just weird sometimes. We didn't like. Obviously, we were scared for a little bit. We didn't think much about it after that because there's something really weird after that.
Did she see what kind of car it was that he was driving? Something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Where did Kaylee work?
Where did Kaylee work?
She worked at home for a business, I believe. I can't remember what exactly it is.
So she was just she works from her apartment? From her
Yeah.
room? Okay. What about Maddie and Zana? Where did they work?
Maddie and Santa both worked at Mad Greek, and then Maddie also had a paid internship through this business as well. That was online at home.
What was that? Wouldn't you ask? Do you
Who
know?
would know what that business is?
Thank you.
How would I be able to figure that out?
You might know.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. There's like, because they were business majors, and through their majors, they were able to get these jobs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just had something about Kaylee talking about something like that,
Yeah.
and then I heard that it was possibly you. So I just wanted to make sure that I got the right person out of those kind of things. Did you hear Murphy barking or doing anything
Yes, he was barking a lot.
throughout the night, or?
When I heard Kaylee go upstairs, he's barking a lot, and then I could tell that he was outside. I don't know how the police found him because he.
Blown away right there. I don't know how the police found him. I don't know how the police found Murphy. Okay. Blown away by that comment. What do you mean you don't know how the police found Murphy? That would tell me that you went through the house and you couldn't find Murphy. There is no other way that you are making that statement. Impossible to literally, logically say it any other way. I have no idea how the police found Murphy. The only way that you could say that is that if you went through the house and you were looking for the dog and you couldn't find the dog. Period. Period. There is nothing that anybody in this world is going to be able to tell me. This is my opinion. I don't give a fuck who you are. You better have camera to get me to ever change my opinion on that. Okay? If you have no idea how the police found Murphy, that means you do not believe that Murphy is in that house because you went looking for Murphy. Because you have no idea how the police found Murphy. That means Murphy wasn't there whenever you looked for Murphy. Period. End of story. Like I said, I will fight anybody on that. Period. And then you would ask her, well, what do you mean you don't understand? You said that you don't know how the police found Murphy. What do you mean by that? Hello? Like, that's like me saying, I have no idea how you found my purse. What do you mean? Well, I looked all through the house for that purse for the past week. And so I have no idea how you found it in an hour. Where was my purse? Because I have not been able to find it for a week, right? That would be the rest of that sentence. Like, I have no idea how you found that. It has not been in my house for the past week. I couldn't say, I have no idea how you found something or found a person or a dog. I have to have some personal vested interest in, well, I couldn't find the dog. How did you find the dog? You know what I mean? Sorry. Fight me.
Was in the house.
Okay.
But he was outside. I don't know. And I heard Kaylee go upstairs. She's barking a lot. And then I could tell that he was outside. I don't know how the police found him because he wasn't in the house.
Okay.
Because he wasn't in the house. I have no idea how the police found him because he wasn't in the house. What? And Mowery's just like, okay. What? What do you mean the dog wasn't in the house?
But he has a puppy, he barks, but he was barking a lot if there was someone there.
He was barking a lot because there was someone there.
And that was at 1:32, or was that around 4?
He just asked, was that around 1:30 or 2, or was that around 4? 4. Now, okay, what we're going to get here is Murphy dancing with Kaylee is something you would see, okay? Not here, in my opinion. And you usually dance to music, not Vampire Diaries or silence. So, for example, if I was to say Bobby was singing, I don't have to see Bobby singing in order to know that he's singing because I can hear that he's singing, okay? In order for me to say that somebody is dancing, I'm sorry, but I would have to physically see them dancing for me to say and know that they were dancing. Okay. So I want you to hear this.
And when he was barking, when you first heard him barking after she was up there playing, did you hear him go outside? Or?
Right there, he says, when you heard her playing up there, like, I don't know what you're thinking, buddy. Thank God Dylan says what she says right here.
Did he start outside?
Murphy was with Kaylee when they were like dancing. They walked upstairs.
Right there. Well, Murphy was with Kaylee when they were dancing on the first level in the living room. Okay. So think about the JBL speaker, that little one. Like I said, you're going to be dancing to music. So whether you're playing it on your phone, dancing, and I'm sorry, she is physically seeing that. And you would ask though, okay, what do you mean dancing? Did you see her dancing? Like, why aren't you asking that? What are you fucking doing? What are you doing? And then she says, and then Murphy and Kaylee walk upstairs and Murphy's walking with Kaylee. Did you see that?
Did you hear him go outside, or did he start outside?
Murphy was with Kaylee when they were like dancing. They walked upstairs. He was still with her. And then when she would yell, someone's here, he started barking in the house. And then I believe the slider door was open, and I think he went out that way because I could tell, like,
I believe the side door was open. Why in the fuck would you believe that? Why would you believe the side door was open? Think about this. You normally shut the door and lock it up, but I don't think that we did that last night. Well, how do you know that? Why do you think that? Right? Then here again, she says that that she basically knows that this slider door was open. How do you know that? How do you know that? You'd have to fucking see that. See it. You'd have to see that. And we've seen how many pictures of this fucking house. If you are standing inside of Dylan Mortensen's room, even like right where the door's open, if you're standing right there, you can't see the slider, period. You would have to come up out of that area to be able to see that sliding door, to see if it's open.
the sound of his barking was getting, like, more distant.
Do you think that Murphy would have went after him, wherever he was?
Maybe, but I mean, he's a puppy. He doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing with him.
Yeah.
Okay, and then something super, super weird. I don't know what she's thinking in her brain. She legit is basically telling Mowery, well, the dog's a puppy. The dog wouldn't know that this person's an intruder. That's what she's insinuating. But if the dog wasn't a puppy, that the dog would then know that that's an intruder. Murphy's just a puppy. Murphy didn't know, like, Murphy wouldn't know, like, that that's an intruder. I don't think Murphy would know just by seeing somebody, because you guys are all weird with each other and wear masks and shit like that all the time. So yeah, like Murphy was probably like used to that type of behavior, playing pranks on each other, whatever. But I don't think Murphy would be used to blood everywhere. Okay. That's one thing that I'm going to say Murphy's probably not going to be used to.
When the guy in black left, did he close the...
And okay, why is she so adamant about that this started at 4 o'clock? Okay, that this started at 4 o'clock. This is so important, because if you were to go back and look at your phone, right? Well, if your shit doesn't start until, I don't know, 4:19, 4:20, I'd be saying 4:20. I would not be saying 4 o'clock. Okay. Also, what if there was deletions? So there was conversations had, okay, but then you guys deleted stuff. Remember, Aunt Taylor said that this is not all inclusive of like the deletions, okay? And so the only thing that I can think in my brain is that, you know, you're talking about 4 o'clock because there was timestamps about 4 o'clock, and then those got deleted, and from like, but Bethany over here, she doesn't get like thrown into the mix until 20 minutes maybe later. But still, you made no effort to reach out to Bethany. I mean, why would you be saying 4 o'clock that all like that you would hear this barking and stuff like that? And for the record, if you're going to say that it's that white Honda Elantra, that car is, nobody's in that house at 4, unless you're Molly McMichael and her fucking crew. Okay.
Slider, or did he leave it open?
I don't know. I just ran.
Tie in with him.
Puppy, he doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably tie in with him.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then Mowery thinks that the dog would just be playing with the intruder. What? Playing with him? Okay. Yeah. That's what usually happens at 4 a.m. But anyways, right here, I cannot believe that this came out of her mouth when she's asked this question.
When the guy in black left, did he close the slider, or did he leave it open?
Okay. 2 things. He doesn't refer to him as a masked man. Okay? He refers to him as the man in black. The man in black. This is why it's so important. It's because all of the information that was being relayed, okay, was that this person, nobody ever used the term mask man. Well, I take that back. Dylan did, but Bethany didn't. Okay. And if he's being relayed from Josie, whoever he talked to first, and then he's getting his information, and they're talking about, I don't know if they didn't believe her fucking mask man story. I don't know. But he says the man in black. The man in black, not the mask man. Okay. Interesting for me. Because if I'm her, I'm like, though this dude had a mask on. Yeah, he was in black, but I mean, he had a mask on. I'd be making that known.
Whoever he was?
Maybe, but I mean, he's puppy. He doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
When the guy in black left, did he close the slider or did he leave it open?
I don't know. I just ran downstairs.
Boom. Fell over. I don't know. I just ran downstairs. Everybody out there can just eat a bag of dicks. Good morning. It's Thursday morning. Oh my God. Wow. I have no idea if he closed the slider or not. I ran downstairs. What? Do you understand this blows up the text messaging narrative? If this person, when you would have saw them, if you just ran downstairs, okay, you didn't go back in your room, you didn't lock the door. I don't know if he shut the slider or not. When I saw him, I ran downstairs. One more time. Here it is. I was like, whoa.
He doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
When the guy in black left, did he close the slider or did he leave it open?
I don't know. I just ran downstairs.
Right. Okay. Okay, anything else?
Not that I
Popped
can
up?
think of. No.
All right, I'm gonna go talk to my guys.
Okay, wait. Anything else? You don't have anything to say with that? Oh, wait. What do you mean you just ran downstairs? So there was no frozen shock state. Okay. Did you see the person go outside or, did they close the sliding door? I don't know because I ran downstairs. I thought that she locked herself in her room right after Kaylee said that there was someone here. And again, after seeing the man, I thought that she went back in and locked herself in her room. Okay. I thought she was in a frozen shocks phase. MPD and FBI and ISP are all full of fucking shit. They suck. Okay. And thank God Othram bailed y'all motherfucking asses out. Right? Because you guys suck. Absolutely ridiculous. Wait, okay. So you ran downstairs. Where'd you run to? Oh, Bethany's room. Why would you run there? Why didn't you run to Xana's room? Why didn't you run the fuck up out of the house? Why didn't you call 911? Don't you think that you would remember being so scared that, holy shit, I was so scared. I was coming in and out of my room. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Then I start calling and texting my roommates. I'm yelling out their names. I don't know what's going on. But then I start texting with Bethany. Okay. And then my phone was going to fucking die. And I had to and then I just made a run for it. Well, when? You guys, that was like 10 minutes after the motherfucker left. If you think he is the guy that's driving away at 4:20, he would have had to leave at like 4:18 and some change, 4:19 latest. And she doesn't get downstairs until like 4:25 or 4:27. And so that would mean all the text messages, if she just ran straight downstairs, all those text messages are staged. I have no idea if he closed the slider or not because I ran downstairs. You have no questions after she says that? I have no idea how the police found him. I have no idea how the police found the dog. What? I don't know if he closed the slider because I ran right downstairs. If I didn't know if he closed the slider or not, right? I have no idea if he closed the slider. That's it. But let's back this all up. That's your question, Mowery? Did he close the slider? You don't say, did you see him leave? Or, okay, how about her saying, I don't know, I didn't see him leave, right? But then then he's got to be asking himself a quick question like, well, wait, Emily and these other people are talking about that. If you read their interviews, that yeah, she knew that he was gone because he closed the slider, and that's what made her run then downstairs. Dude, this guy is a detective? This guy is a detective? This guy is a detective? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Not even 5 minutes. Can you think of anything else? You're not going to walk her through. So then her interviews at the house, then this shit show. Okay. And then on 11/16, now, did you hear him ask, hey, can I get consent to download your phone? I didn't. Then on 11/16 or 17, then Blaker and Vicky Gooch have a talk with her. What do you guys think? Unbelievable to me. All right, let's see what you guys think. But she said Murphy left through the slider. How did the person get in without being seen? They was in the living room, and the scream from Keely was when she walked upstairs. Well, according to Dylan, as you get further down in the weeds of Dylan thinks that the killer, I'm telling you, came in through Kaylee's sliding glass door. She doesn't think the killer came through that sliding glass door. Looks like they cut the interview short so they could go back over their story and clarify that she did in fact see more of the perp. It's just, this is horrible. What did I just learn though? If I'm him, like if I'm Mowery, what did I just learn? I learned absolutely dick from that interview. I learned a week ago the front door was just wide open, but it's broken. No stalkers. Oh, any strange instances? Yeah, a couple weeks ago at Winco, there was this guy that was like following. I don't know. Like, I really wasn't there, but he was obviously like following her because he was like right behind her car. And then a month ago, Kaylee took Murphy outside, and it was like a month ago, yeah. And there was like a shadow and some trees, and yeah. And we usually are pretty good about locking the door, but last night I don't think we locked the door. Let's talk about Murphy barking. When did Murphy start barking? Well, when Kaylee went upstairs after I saw her playing, and playing with Murphy, he thinks that Murphy's playing upstairs. Fucking, I don't know where he gets that shit from. when she says right there verbatim that Murphy was on the first motherfucking level. Okay, this is where Ann Taylor totally failed me, Ann Taylor. Okay, god damn. Dylan never once says that she was awoken to a goddamn thing. She was up. Okay, she wasn't sleeping. She didn't awake, to this shit. She was awake. She saw Kaylee and she saw Murphy, because you can't say that somebody was dancing without fucking seeing them. And you would ask, oh, did you see her? Did you see Kaylee? Why wouldn't you just ask those simple two? Did you see Kaylee? How hard is that? You want first, okay, we want your personal knowledge. What do you know? Okay, did you see Kaylee then? Did you see Murphy? Okay. Well, what I learned from this is that she ran straight downstairs after seeing this person, and she has no idea if the sliding door was closed, because she ran straight downstairs, so she was not in a frozen shock state. And whoa, if we're going to think that that car has that perpetrator, that means that she would have to have run down before 420, and it'd be more like in the 419. And oh wow, that's exactly when all the phone calls start happening and all the text messaging starts happening. Very interesting. Then what else did I learn? Oh, I don't know how the police found Murphy. What? Yeah. Well, what do you mean you don't know how the police found Murphy? That would mean that Murphy, you walked around that house and you couldn't find Murphy. There's no way that you would ever make that comment. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Doesn't line up with your theory that the text messages are all sent at the same time. Doesn't this line up with your theory that all the text messages? It's looking that way. It's looking that these all happened after the fact. And I always said, if you saw the stuff, like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. This is good morning, Yuri. They did not read her rights, even though you're not under arrest. They always read you your rights. This seems like she was talked to before, even at the police department. That's my take on that. I don't know. So is Murphy missing for like 6 hours or something? That's what, I mean, Ann Taylor, why aren't you taught? Why wasn't this said? Why wasn't this said that Dylan does not know, where the dog is? And she has no idea how the police found the dog, because the dog was not there. That's what she's insinuating. And the only way that you could ever insinuate that is if you went around that house and you looked for the dog, which I've always said. Why would they not be concerned about the dog? Okay. And if you're hearing a dog bark, 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 and then the dog all of a sudden stops barking, and it's like, who got the dog? Who was taking care of the dog? Where is the dog? And Twiddledee and Twiddledum here, Mowery, idiot. I thought maybe he was just playing a role at all those hearings. No, he's not. BF and DM both answering questions with pretty much drives me insane. Longer I thought someone kidnapped the dog. Lana, all booms on this. It's insane. And like I said, I don't know how Ann Taylor is not laying this out better for Judge Hippler. Tax Max Fax says, I am so damn sick of these people, Anna. I'm so damn sick of them not releasing the shit that they have, and it's already done. Give me my Molly McMichael motherfucking interview. Okay? I want to hear Molly. Excuse me. You can see you can see one cop walking Murphy out of the house early on at this house. When the first cop was talking to Dylan, you could see it. That's not what she's talking about. Dylan's saying, how did you find the dog? I don't know how they found the dog. The only way that you could say that is if you went looking in your house for the dog. So she's over here like, how did they find the dog in the house? We looked for the dog in the house and we couldn't find the dog in the house. She gave herself away. What a mess, man. What a mess. Emma Bailey is way smarter than Molly McMath. I don't know. Emma Bailey put drugs in her ass and on a camera, you know, when she knew the camera was right there. I don't know. I think they're all dumb. I just don't know what I don't know what Mowery is trying. What did he gain here? He just couldn't wait to get over to the scene, and he knew that I gotta go get all the cameras. I gotta go get all the cameras. I gotta go start fucking with the cameras. All right, I'm gonna go talk to my guys and see if we can just put these pieces of puzzles together. Well, with questions like that, you ain't putting a fucking 40-piece puzzle together, let alone 25,000. Nope, Dylan didn't change clothes. I double checked. Funny how you like that. Funny how some individuals get Molly FOUAs seemingly without asking. She didn't. How are you not asking the questions of like, how do you know it was 4:00? What about that? How do you know that it was at 4:00 the dog starts barking? How do you know? And so did you see Kaylee right before, like, if she's going up with the dog? Like, so is your door normally closed? Do you lock it? So it was like closed this whole time. Was it open? I mean, do you sleep? Do you close your door? Do you lock it? When did she ever say, I was coming out 3 times? Now, there you go. Why didn't you call 911? We just ran downstairs and we just went to bed because we thought that nothing bad happens in Moscow, Idaho. And then he asks, well, do you have anything else you want to tell me? No. So Dylan talked for 5 minutes. I don't know if anybody asked her that you'd actually have to look at the extraction, and homeboy was acting like he kept on putting that off. I don't know how the family's put up with this. If this was my child, I would be pissed. Oh, I think Steve G's pretty pissed. You guys, this is why they had to violate our rights. This type of investigation. This is absolute shit. Writing up reports months upon months later. Guys, this is not a noise complaint call. They don't ask real questions. I feel like this is for show. It's for something. It ain't to find a killer. Okay. It's I don't know what he learned. Please, I'm begging somebody. Tell me what he learned in this. The only thing that you would learn is that this narrative is so beyond fucked. And that you would have to, okay, we got to start, you'd want to get all these people's phones, okay? There was no investigation, says Ann Taylor. She says that in a lot of cases. But it's how about this? Did you hear any of your roommates screaming? How about did you hear screaming? How about barking? That's like, so did you hear barking? How about did you hear screaming? How about did you hear people screaming bloody motherfucking murder because they're getting stabbed to death? How about that? What did we learn? Mark B was good. Mowery got the word to go easy as one or more of them were involved. I think he needs more training. Don't know how cops found Murphy because I checked and he wasn't there. That's basically what she's saying. Without saying that, because you could never make that comment. And I said, fight me. Come on. Tell me how I have no idea how, in quotes, this is in quotes, I don't know how the police found him. I would be asking, where did the police find Murphy? Oh my God, poor Murphy. Like, the dog stopped barking. Because if the dog would have kept barking all night, it would have woke me up. Murphy stopped barking, thought everything was okay. Where did you guys find Murphy? Murphy was upstairs? Like, wouldn't this be breaking your heart? Where's Murphy? Well, guess what? Dylan basically says, where's Murphy when she says, I don't know how the police found him. End quote. So who had Murphy? New member who dis? Kim, not your cup of tea. What's good? Spicy kitten, like the name. Member for 9 months, baby time. Anybody else? What do we got? Or she kicked Murphy out of the house, says Heather. Because the officer put him in Kaylee's room and shut the door. That was at the end, and so I don't know. Apparently that was at the end, but also apparently it's like, yeah. What about the cop at the scene that said they all know? I believe that he's referring to just that they know that they're dead. Tina, what the fuck translation services? This is Tina with what the fuck translation services. How we doing, Tina T-Town? This is pathetic. I know. How can anybody out there that's law enforcement honestly watch this 5 minutes and 35 seconds and say to themselves, dude, Purple Heart, man. Purple motherfucking heart. Okay. Do you know that Mowery went off and got awards? Do you even know this? What? Oh my God. They lied to the grand jury. They lied their fucking tits off to the grand jury. This is why they didn't want Steve G offering a huge reward in the very beginning. I think Steve G was wondering why they're not. Jiggly Melon's back for some more action. I love it. Meg P, love your face. Lana, they want to meet them at CrimeCon. Yeah, Mowery. I am a regular person with no training and would have a lot more questions. Yeah. Let's think about it. You have Dylan right here in the room. First of all, like I said in the beginning, how are you not saying, hi, my name is Detective Mowery. I'm really sorry for what you're going through right now. You want to like appeal to somebody, right? Like, I'm really sorry for what you're going through right now. I think the guys had mentioned that you're probably going to have to tell your story a couple different times. We're just trying to, get as much information as we can. And if we don't ask you the questions and you can't possibly give us the answer, so you're probably going to be asked like a bunch of different questions, a bunch of different ways. And it's to make sure that we're getting, while it's so fresh, as much information as we can. It's being recorded so that like we can memorialize it. But maybe questions that I asked you, somebody else didn't. And I mean, what? Like, I don't understand how you're a detective for, I don't know, 10, 16 years. And this is what we got. This is what we got in the first 48 hours. We have her at the scene and we have this because the next time she's interviewed, it's after the 48 hours. So again, I just, woo, my Lord. I believe that she was interviewed prior to this. I mean, if Ann Taylor didn't put in a request that says, hey, I want the interview of Dylan Mortensen before this one at the station, what do you mean there's not an interview? Because this just can't be like, now I'm just dying and craving to see how Mowery approached these other people that he interviewed on this day. But I'd be having her walk me through the night. No doubt about it. And I would be asking questions like, ready? Well, I noticed that there was 5 cars in the driveway. Could you tell me whose those cars were? And how you guys have 5 people that live with you? Oh, 2 of those are Ethan's though. Okay, so who doesn't have cars? Like, so those cars are normally there. So then somebody had some balls to go into that house knowing that there was a full set of cars and not knowing potentially who 2 of the cars belonged to, because not only was Kaylee's new Range Rover there, but the Explorer was there. Okay. So, I mean, this person had no issues with who they could have been confronted with in that, house. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. And then Kaylee normally drives like a different type of a car, right? What time do you guys normally go to sleep? All right. Okay, so what time did you go to sleep? Did you physically see Kaylee? Did you see all your roommates? How about Ethan and Xana? And you didn't hear any of them? Like where your room's located, you're like centrally located, everything. You're right by the kitchen. And then, okay, you went down into the bedroom. Again, why did you run down there? The whole, you didn't call 911. Did you run downstairs because like there was another bedroom? Like I would just be getting it out of her. Like, how do I know that she was planning on going into the downstairs bedroom with Bethany? How do I know that she was texting or calling her? Like, I don't know that. In fact, even if you watch that body cam, you're not going to know that. She never mentions that she was texting Bethany. She mentioned a call. And then he's the digital guy. Like he knows what digital evidence there is. He knows that people have their phones on them all the time. I would ask, was your phone dead? Did you have your phone by you? Were you able to get to your phone? And you never thought about calling 911? And what makes you believe that this all happened at 4? Again, you want to like hone in on that. How long after Kaylee went upstairs did you hear there's someone here? Was it like immediately when she went up there? Was it just a couple minutes? Was it was everybody dressed in their pajamas? When is the last time you saw Ethan and Xana? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. How can we hear the horrific screaming on the ring cam and Dylan wants us to believe her and Bethany just though Ethan was singing loud in the kitchen? Hee-haw. That made me laugh only because the hee-haw. Oh, God. Oh, as a former federal investigator, I'm sick and appalled by this sorry excuse of an investigation. Well, I hope to God you really are who you say you are, because so YJ says, as a former federal investigator, I am sick and appalled by this sorry excuse of an investigation. Whoever committed this atrocity knew who was in the house. One of the worst interrogations ever. I just don't know what they learned. Young Black. Think of the noise that the stabbings would make. I don't know. I don't know what the noise that the stabbings would make. I think the people, even the person that could be stabbing, could be potentially grunting. But I watched what I saw on the girl that was driving, or the girl that was riding in Charlotte. Her stabbing. You guys, that happened so fucking fast, okay? But the situation wasn't the same. In my personal opinion, where there would be 4 people, okay, and somebody's all like, in a mask or whatever, and when you would see, think about you getting scared, like, oh my God, somebody like jumps out at you when you're, I don't know, coming out of the bathroom or something like that. I don't know how nobody's reaction would be to like scream, because you would be like, it's like a jump scare, Jump scares make you go, like, makes you scream. We don't have any of that stuff. When was the date of the last photos on their phone? I'm talking, I want the other data. I want all the cell rights of all the phones. Release that shit. Let's go. Outcast. The only way this happened is by someone they knew. I'm 1,000 convinced, 100 convinced. I mean, I don't know about all that, but this is just horrible. I don't know what you're learning. This case runs deep into the forest. The lack of blood from room to room is all you need to know in the time frame. Yeah, especially after listening to Scott Roeder talk about that this was somebody that would be cool, calm, and collected, because the gravity droppings aren't just like all over the place. Also, it tells me that this person would have wrapped the murder weapon, the knife, in clothing, in something, when they're moving from room to room. This person wasn't just like shit flying all over. But if you were to wrap the knife in some clothing, but then where is that clothing? Where is the book bag that Brian Kohlberger was seen in all of his hiking trips in those selfies? Did they ever find that particular backpack? I have a question about that. I want to know if they ever found Brian Kohlberger's backpack that he used in WSU. I'd be interested in knowing that. Sleuth Kitty, congrats on our 1-0. Yeah, that's why I'm up so early today. Always on replay. Finally got here for live. Oh, that's great. Good. Awesome. I love it. Aaron Hack. Where is the footprints? I mean, when people are stabbed and killed in beds, a lot of absorption is going to be happening in that bed. As you could see, since it happened in Charlotte, there was nothing to absorb any of that blood. And so therefore it ran all over the floor, right? And down and seeped under. If you guys saw the Megyn Kelly version, which that's the only version that I would recommend because the rest is bullshit. Seeing everybody just stand around like a bunch of fucking idiots. Like unbelievable. Those people just ugh. Well, we don't. This is the first one that this is the first interview that the Moscow Police Department has released besides Bethany's at MPD. And I mean, Bethany didn't use her phone in that one. I don't even know where Dylan's phone is here. And Mowery asks, like, I don't know, 8 questions. I think you guys, the pictures that we got to see from Xana's room and the pictures, a couple of the pictures from from Maddie's room on the left wall, but definitely the pictures also of Xana's room. I mean, you guys, it was a fucking mess in that room. Sorry, but it was. If we could see all those pictures, and we're gonna find out how the ruling comes down here, which I can't even believe that Megan when was that hearing? When's she gonna decide that? That's got to be coming up soon. Who knows? But there's blood everywhere in there. I'm sorry, but it's there. Especially we've seen it in Xana's room. It's there. I think Xana fought back, and more importantly, I gotta think that Xana is, I don't know, using her vocal cords. You know? Sad. Meg P says that I personally believe that somebody could be protected. Yeah. Well, after we heard yesterday, the day before, Molly McMichael being there during the time of the commission of the crime, potentially, because they're saying 4:00 that this all started. The white Elantra not back by that time for this to start. And her and her crew being CIs and that doing control buys with the police. Why don't you think that they would do that for like Tisdall and Rosendahl? They would. And who do I think, after getting Sign Boy and handling that shit, show me a timestamp from the police department of those dudes getting back there, and I want to see what cars they leave in. That's their personal use vehicles. What time the hybrid gets back there. They, in my opinion, are the 356 car that goes by at 356 and loops around and is, out by 358. And they could be potentially the 406 car, 401, 4 whatever the fuck time it was. None of them made it home alive. Totally disagree. Sue from South Africa. If the girls are protecting someone, then why are the cops protecting those girls? Because maybe they're protecting the cops. That's what that tells me. If you think that. The art of betrayal and the element of surprise wins. Well, if you think about why Kaylee Gonzalez got it the worst, if the target was Maddie and the killer wanted alone time with Maddie, but Kaylee walked in or Kaylee was in that room and it ruined what, then that would be why you'd be so angry at Kaylee, because you just now fucked up my shit. And now I'm so pissed off at you. That's what that tells me. Like, that's how I would be arguing it if I was the state. Especially with her wounds being so different. But, all right. So there we have it. I'm going to be back. I have a lot more things I need to get through with videos today and tomorrow. So please come back and join me. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Like I said, lots to cover. Bombshells are coming. This case is always going to be lingering, and that's really sad for the victims' families. As always, be kind to one another. Have a great morning, and I'll see you back here in a little bit. We got Turtle Boy to talk about, Karen Reed to talk about, Shanna Gardner to talk about, Delphi, Richard Allen to talk about, Sheldon Jr. We got so much shit to talk about, and I swear there's just never enough time.